Hey, how's everybody doing today? So I wanted to cover a couple of things that just came to mind, a little bit off my normal topic, but just some things that stuck out to me that I wanted to mention on here for y'all to think about. The first thing I wanted to talk about is I I noticed in this press conference that I saw of this ridiculous so-called president we've got. Um, isn't it amazing that all of these years people have been suffering from cancer, and all it took was a president to mandate a vaccine for it? Isn't that amazing? Well, I'll tell you, if you believe that there's a vaccine for cancer, I've got some snake oil to sell to you. Uh, Premium snake oil, top dollar stuff. Really, really do you right. And as well as I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona that I'd like to sell you too, and I'm sure you'd be happy with that. Um, you know, it just amazes me. It really amazes me how ignorant, naive, I guess those are kind of synonymous, uh, lazy, um, just downright stupid people are that believe this kind of shit. All the billions of dollars funneled through these organizations to supposedly find a cure for all these different types of cancers for the last couple of decades, probably even trillions of dollars by now. Who knows? But of course, they can't find a cure. But all it took was a mandate. It's just amazing. After the debacle that they've already gone through, and now, now, now they're gonna sell you some snake oil again. Anyway, so that was the first topic. I just found that pretty comical, and it's something for y'all to think about. If you all think that there's a vaccine for cancer, then man, I don't know what to do for you kind of people. Um, the next topic that I wanted to talk about, something that happened here in Zanesville a couple weeks ago. I saw in a news article about the uh, Freemason building, temple, whatever you want to call it, right over next to the county jail and court that burned basically to the ground or completely burned up. Um, this sort of thing really just amazes me. Uh, a large structure, a large building, what was it, like 4 or 5 stories? I think it's 4 stories. Anyways, right next to the county jail. I mean, literally right across the alleyway from the county jail, right behind the courthouse. What, a block and a half, 2 blocks down from the fire department here in Zanesville. And with all of the Freemasons that we have in the community as acting as public servants, like Don Mason and others, I'm sure there's quite a few in the police department. It amazes me that they weren't able to get to that or notice that it was burning or smell the smoke or see any flames or nothing until it was too late to save the building. Now, I find it interesting. I find it very peculiar, actually, because, I mean, most of us here in Zanesville, if you've been paying attention, know that the county has been wanting to build a new jail. Um, Now, I don't know if this has anything to do with one with the other, but I find it peculiar and, kind of, I guess, I don't know if synchronicity is the right word, probably not. But, things just kind of come together and pieces of the puzzle start fitting together and it starts looking like a picture. So you have to ask yourself, well, is this really something? Is this really a puzzle or is it not? So, I mean, just take this into consideration. So, they are so incompetent here that this building right next to the county jail and the courthouse, the sheriffs are always there. 2 blocks down from the police department, so officers and fire departments out there, doing their thing all throughout the night and day, and uh, nobody noticed this until it was too late to salvage the building. Um, Conveniently, it damaged, or I guess inconveniently, it damaged some of the systems in the court and in the jail. I guess I heard that the power was out and phone lines were down. There was a bunch of other issues. Uh, But isn't it just miraculous that the building right next to the existing county jail pretty much burns up? Nobody notices it till it's too late. Now they have to demolish the building. And hey, look at that. How miraculous. Now there's a lot that opened up right next to the existing county jail for what I guess that's where they're going to build the new county jail. I don't know. I find these things to be very, very peculiar. That building stood there for quite some time. I'm not sure exactly the year that it was built, but you know, I just I find that there's times in my life where things aren't so coincidental. You know, sometimes they might be, and you know, there's those exceptions. But in general, coincidences like this are pretty rare. Uh, and I mean, not to mention the fact that anybody that's been paying attention, I mean, hell, the county has motive to uh, clear that property for one reason or another to build the jail. That way they can connect it to the existing jail and rehab the existing jail as well. So then they can house twice the amount of people in there and put them in cages for the same crimes that they violate. See how that works? So they can really capitalize off of the suffering that they're causing in the community by throwing people in cages for violating some of the same laws that they willingly and blatantly violate with no regard for uh, other people that they might be affecting when violating those laws, as well as any conscience of their actions. These I don't know. I don't know. It puzzles me, but just something to think about. And again, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying I have any hard evidence of anything, or I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything. I'm just looking at the picture and saying, this is peculiar, and these things kind of stand out to me for some reason and don't really uh, mesh up with coincidence. Not when there's so many other quote unquote irons in the fire, for lack of better terms, that the county and Zanesville have been uh, trying to push forward. Um, it really is amazing. But anyway, so yeah, just look into it. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the story about the building down there that burned up. But just consider these things. Read the articles. Read what the public servants said that responded. That by the time they showed up, I mean they're 2 blocks away. It took them so long to get 2 blocks down the street, and that was before the snow hit and ice. It took them that long to get 2 blocks down the street that they couldn't save the building. In my opinion, I don't think that was an accident. Um, Again, it just when you consider motive, it starts to make sense. But again, this is just my opinion, so chew on it for a little while and think about it, and talk to your family about it. Talk to your friends in the neighborhood about it, and people in the community, and just consider it. I'm not saying go around accusing anybody or do anything crazy. Just consider it, just food for thought, because knowledge is the enemy of belief, and no matter what you believe, it's what you know that will set you free. So I encourage you all to know the truth and let the truth set you free. And I hope you all have a good weekend out there. Stay safe. Be careful with all the snow and ice. And man, yeah, let's do what we can to set the record straight and hold these people accountable, and really turn this society, this country, or economy, whatever you want to call it, around. Because it all starts with the self. It all starts with your mind. It starts with my mind. Our minds each, man and woman, that has a mind of their own that they can think for themselves. That's where it begins. Because you can't fix a problem until you actually are aware of what the problem even is. So, y'all have a good day.